What's going on, Phantombass and Cosmogs fans alike? This is Phantombass coming at you. Actually, let me check something real fast before I do this completely unprofessional thing and forget to put in my logo. How silly of me. I hope this is my old logo. No, this is my new one. Dope. Hi, friends. I realize this is it's a bit long overdue for this video, but I'm hyped as always to bring you guys a team builder. And as you guys know, this is team prep for the APA, season number 3, week number 1. We are facing Miticus, coach of the Boston Beedrills, one of the main commissioners of the APA, good friend, and he's a solid guy. Never really know what to expect out of him, because one week he could be a little shaky, and the next week he could just come back and destroy somebody. You never know with Miticus and his prep. And I'm going to get some background here and let you know that first off, I know that he's prepping with some decently good builders, so I've got my work cut out for me. And I myself haven't been really relying on too many people to help me. Mostly I just ask for mocks. I don't really like to ask people to help me build, you know. I don't ask for any sets. I don't ask for any spreads or anything. I want to do it. Like, that's just me. But anywho, that's just because I'm a little OCD. But anywho, so jumping right into this, I'm going to read off Miticus's team to you because I don't really have the ability to put his on the screen. I'll do this in the next video. Forgive me. I will do this in the next video. Right now I'm just kind of pressed for time to record this because this is, I'm going to spoil it. I've already had the battle, but I want to upload these because I love doing these. These are fun. And I'm also going to let you know what my team is, of course. But his team is Z Salamence, Rotom Wash, Z Kartana, Alolan Muck, Mega Alakazam, Alolan Ninetales, Silvally, all forms by the way, Hitmontop, Golurk, Lycanroc, Midnight Form, and Pyroar. My team is Z Blacephalon, Tapu Fini, Mamoswine, Bronzong, Umbreon, Scolipede, Z Lucario, Aerodactyl, Mega Ampharos, Gogoat, and Zangoose, or Zangoose, however you want to pronounce it. Anyway, this being said, let's go ahead and discuss really fast what I plan. First off, what my plan is for this team, what I plan to execute, because I know that in the past my team builders have been straight up like, yeah, okay, this is what I brought, this is why I brought it. I want to kind of go a different route, not so much a different whole route, but like I want to explain my thought process better than I used to. So now I'm not going to go through, I'm going to try to emulate as best I can my team building process here. So when I look at Miticus' team, I see a good chunk of offensive threats. The main ones that are staring me in the face at the moment are Salamence and Kartana, Mega Alakazam, and even Alolan Ninetales is kind of an issue for my team. Defensive problems are things like Rotom Wash, Alolan Muck, once again Alolan Ninetales. Hitmontop is kind of hit or miss. It depends on his coverage that he brings. He could bring Sucker Punch, which could be a really big problem for Blacephalon. Also, Rotom Wash just kind of craps on Blacephalon because its coverage is kind of meager at best. Alolan Muck 100% walls Blacephalon. It traps it and kills it every time. Doesn't matter. Mega Alakazam also is a big problem for Blacephalon if I'm not scarfed. Kartana is always a big problem for Blacephalon, and I say that very funny because I'm really expecting, here's the team I'm expecting out of him right out of the gate, because through all my prep, through all my mocks, I have a kind of a concept of what I'm expecting him to bring. I'm expecting him to bring a defensive Rotom Wash with something like Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, either Will-O-Wisp or Hydro. I always gotta have Hydro Pump, but Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, either, and Pain Split, because I don't think he wants to run Will-O-Wisp because I've got Terrain, and then I'm expecting Defog because his team is kind of Hazards weak. His only removal is Silvally, Rotom Wash, and Salamence, all of which are defoggers, and Hitmontop is a Rapid Spinner, but I've got a really good Ghost to check it. I say that I've got a good spin blocker that can offensively pressure, but not defensively check it, you know. So with this in mind, what I'm expecting, like I said, from his team is a defensive Rotom Wash, Assault Vest, Alolan Muck to kind of counter my Blacephalon. I'm expecting Mega Alakazam because it outspeeds my entire team, and if it can trace either Beast Boost or I don't know, Beast Boost. Yeah, I have Beast Boost. If he can trace a Beast Boost, if he can trace a Speed Boost, if he can trace even if he can trace like something like, I don't even know. There's so many abilities on my team that he could trace that would just really benefit him. Obviously, I'm expecting something with enough speed, like a modest set with enough speed, outspeed, regular Aerodactyl, and with the right coverage, Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, and maybe Substitute. Substitute's a big one I'm expecting. I'm expecting Aurora Veil, and Ninetales with Freeze Dry and Moonblast, because that really just kind of hurts my team really badly. Expecting Encore too, only because of things like Umbreon on my team, things like Tapu Fini on my team, a lot of mons that potentially don't want to be encored into something. And I'm expecting, honestly, Golurk, because he needs a decent switch into my he needs a way to prevent my only momentum in Mega Ampharos. And so I'm expecting Golurk to fill that role. And so I'm expecting him to bring, like I said, his hash removal will probably be Rotom Wash with Defog. Scarf Kartana I'm expecting because it 100% just runs through my team once he gets rid of Mega Ampharos, or once he gets rid of any other checks that I have to it. Kartana is such a problem for my team, and I have to make sure that I prep accordingly. And with this in mind, we're going to go right into my prep now before my phone dies, which has my set. Now, right away, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, like I said, I have built this team already. I have played this battle already, but I want to emulate this process as best I can. So, the first thing I see on his team is literally the first thing at the top of the list I see is Salamence. And also I see that he has a relatively decent Stealth Rock's weakness. He doesn't really appreciate hazards very much at all. So I would really like to capitalize on this. And I thought, okay, what better mon to bring than Mamoswine? And this week, I'm obviously running a thick fat set because I really can't afford to do much else. He's got things like Pyroar, he's got Alola Ninetales, which I can actually become a decent switch into with the right bulk investment. And so I'm going to run a Life Orb set. And this set I knew directly, right off the bat, I knew what I wanted out of this. I wanted Icicle Crash, I wanted Ice Shard, I wanted Earthquake, and I wanted Stealth Rock. Because this set literally just runs, can run shop on his team. This is the Tuscan Raider. And obviously we're going to be OCD and make you male, not shiny, because shiny Mamoswine's ugly. We are running Adamant. Okay, and let's explain why. So first we go 144 speed and 112 HP. 112 HP allows us to absolutely capitalize on that Life Orb recoil. Like, this is literally the best thing we can do, is to hit with a 9 on the end. Because that really helps us capitalize on our HP with the Life Orb recoil. And on top of this, this speed allows us to creep a max speed Jolly Golurk, which is literally the only thing I really need to creep, because he's not going to bring max speed Alola Muck, and even if he does, it's slower than Golurk. What else on his team does he have that I really can use? What is his speed creeping? The speed creeps a no speed Rotom Wash, this speed creeps a no speed Soul Volley, this speed creeps a no speed Hitmontop as well. And this thing, with this investment, I actually live 2 non-invested Brick Breaks from Alola Muck. I think I live 2 Moonblasts from a timid Alola Ninetales, and I can live. I think with this investment, I am able to take rocks and live a Dragon Claw from a Jolly Salamence. And the reason I'm expecting to run Jolly is because I could potentially be running a Scarf Lucario, and Scarf Lucario with Ice Punch or Scarf Lucario with Dragon Pulse would really be a problem for Salamence. And so he's really got to factor that in. And also I could be running Scarf Tapu Fini, which, if I recall correctly, I say that Adamant Mints, while it does outspeed Tapu Fini, does not outspeed Jolly, or does not outspeed a Scarfed Lucario +1 if I'm Jolly. So that could be a thing. But yeah, this coverage is literally all I need, because Earthquake even to a +2. If he brings a Curse Muck, which could be a problem, Earthquake's still a 2-hit kills, regardless of the spread. And I don't expect a whole lot of defense investment, because he's really going to use it to wall Blacephalon. I don't expect him to bring a physically defensive Alola Muck. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm really expecting something with like a lot of HP and a decent bit of SPDF with an Assault Vest to deal with my Blacephalon. And because that's a really good switch, and it can Pursuit Trap me. And that's really what I'm expecting to capitalize on, is like, because of that, I can switch into it fairly freely. I resist Poison Stab, and Knockoff's going to be doing nothing to me. Brick Break, even with a decent bit of attack investment, it isn't going to 2-hit kill me unless he's like max attack adamant. Even that's a roll. Like, that's how stinking bulky Mammoth Swine is. But yeah, and this also allows us to pretty handily deal with things like Pyroar, things like this helps us kind of scout the Rotom set too. Oh wait, actually, I did end up changing a move on this, but I will tell you this later, because this is the original spread I have on it. I've got to really make sure that I'm double checking my spreads here, because I think I changed a few things on this. Actually, no, I think everything else is fine. Yeah. So anyway, that's Mammoth Swine for now. We come back and change something later. But for now, I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, this is a good Mammoth Silence check. Even if I'm -1, Ice Shard still blows away a non-Yachi Salamence. Non-Yachi Salamence actually straight up drops to a -1 Ice Shard. That's how stinking powerful this thing is to Life Orb. Anyway, so that's our Mammoth Swine set for now. Like I said, we go back and change one thing, which really helps this set a lot, and you'll see it come into play in the match. But anyway, our next Pokemon, I was like, okay, I need a solid answer to what else is on his team. Like, there's a few things that I wanted a solid answer to. I wanted an answer to Muck. I wanted an answer to Mega Alakazam. I wanted an answer to Golurk. And like, overall, I need it, and I was like, I want some Wish support as well, because I really, so obviously you know where I'm going with this, but I wanted Umbreon. And I'm bringing a leftover set. We are bringing Fat the Umbreon. Anybody who gets that reference, please make me happy and tell me in the comment section below. But once again, I knew, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my original set in here. I'm going to go back and tell you my changes later. But my original set was looking around Foul Play, Wish, Protect, and Iron Tail. And I bet you're thinking, why Iron Tail? I'm like, well, because Alolan Ninetales is a free switch into this thing. Every time Foul Play does crap to it, I can Toxic it, but it gets Heal Bell now, so that's a problem. However, Iron Tail, after any chip whatsoever, straight up one-shots Alolan Ninetales because of his poor defense stat. So we are running a near max HP. We're running 244 HP, 252 defense, and 12 speed def. Okay, we are running a Bold Nature, I believe. Okay, no, we're running Impish, because originally, like I said, I was running Iron Tail for that Ninetales, and the roll was like 90 to 106%. It's like a 50% roll in our favor to kill, which is really awesome. So after rocks, it straight up drops. Even after like 2 hits of leftovers, it still drops to an Iron Tail. Like, that's how ready for this thing I wanted to be. But this thing really kind of capitalizes on things like a Mammoth, or not Mammoth, a Mega Alakazam that might only be running Dazzling Gleam can't 2-hit kill me, which is really nice. Kartana actually does not kill me with a Sacred Sword, and we straight up one-shot, or we could potentially one-shot with Foul Play, which is really great for us. Like, I think the roll's not very high in our favor, but it's like 86 to 102 or something like that. However, the other thing that we wall is a +1 Z Outrage from a Jolly Salamence will not kill us from full. It does 84 to 99%. That is literally the roll. And it's amazing. Like, this thing, that's what this thing is for, is I can scout with Protect, the Z move, and it'll literally only do max like 25%. It's really great. Foul Play, if he's a +1, straight up one-shots every time. It doesn't matter. Unless he's like a defensive set, in which case he's not even a threat to Umbreon, because then a +1 Z Outrage would be doing max like 78% or something like that. I think it was the roll that I calced up. This thing is incredibly fat. It does what I need it to do. For now, like I said, I end up changing a move on this thing as well, and it comes into play pretty handily in the match. And I'm kind of proud of the change that I made, and it works out. Anyway, so the next Mon that I brought, or the next Mon I decided to bring, I stared at my team. I was like, I'm gonna die to Kartana. I need to switch into Kartana. Kartana is a huge issue for my team, and I was like, what Mon do I have that resists both grass and steel, and can easily switch in on any of his coverage? And I thought, I'm an idiot. I have freaking Mega Ampharos on my team, and this thing, Kenny G, is going to be a god this week. Shiny Ampharos is so ugly. Anyway, and I originally had, once again, I changed a lot of sets, but my original concept, but I actually changed this one pretty quickly when I figured out that the next Mon that I was going to bring, and you'll see that one in a second as well. But I brought Volt Switch, Dragon Pulse, Heal Bell, and Empower Fire. Not Fire Punch. HP Fire. We're running, and this is a very kind of peculiar spread here. We're running max HP, 92 defense, and the rest in SPDF, because with a bold nature, this allows us to take an Outrage from Salamence and kill back with Dragon Pulse every time. It allows us to take it allows us to freely switch into a Alola Muck every time, and we can take knockoffs for days. We can take poison. We can take 2 poison jabs, easy mode. And granted, we don't do a whole lot back. We can Volt Switch on it. That's valuable, because if we can Volt Switch, we outslow it as well a lot of the time. So we can Volt Switch on it and get into Mamoswine and threaten it out and get up our rocks, which is really nice. Dragon Pulse, like I said, straight up blows away Salamence. HP Fire is for Kartana, and the only reason I say that is because it is even if it's behind Aurora Veil, Kartana does straight up drops to hit and power fire, even behind Aurora Veil. So just to give you an idea of how powerful this thing is, the SPDF investment allows us to live 2 timid Moonblasts from Alola Ninetales, and we can obviously Volt Switch on it, which is really nice. And it also lets us capitalize on things like Rotom Wash, like We Chew, Hydro Pumps, We Chew, Volt Switches. If I need this thing to be a switch into that, it can be. We can live an Earthquake from Golurk from full. Actually, I think we can live after Rocks, which is really nice if he's not banded. Banded Golurk straight up blows us away with Earthquake. There's nothing we can do about that. But we can Dragon Pulse it, and Dragon Pulse is easy to hit kill on that thing, unless he's Assault Vest. Lycanroc Knight doesn't do anything to us. Solvali, unless it's like Solvali Fairy, doesn't do crap to us. Mega Alakazam, that's another thing we switch into. We live 2 of anything Mega Alakazam can go for. Like Psyshock does max like 48%, Psychic does max like 49%. We easily can chew that and Volt Switch out. We can wish up on it with Umbreon and just get all of our HP back. This is the actual set I kept, so don't worry, we're not changing too many sets here, I promise. Our next Pokemon, this is the reason why I wasn't running my Rest Talk set originally. I did decide to go with Tapu Fini, and originally I had an Aerodactyl set that I will not reveal here, only because I may end up using it in later weeks. I don't think I'll use it I may not use it week 2, we'll have to see. But yeah, Asuna is here. I hope you guys are appreciating my references here. We decided to run a leftover set because I need the recovery, and if in case Fat drops, we can't bush pass into this, we still have some recovery going on. And I knew this thing set instantly as soon as I brought it. I bring Haze, Moonblast, Surf, and Defog. And the reason I need Defog is because my team doesn't really appreciate things like Toxic Spikes. I don't know if he has Toxic Spikes on his team, actually. No, but he does have Rocks, and that's literally his only hazard. But he's got Rocks and Golurk and Lycanroc, and no, that's literally it. Okay, yeah, Golurk and Lycanroc are the only things that get Rocks on his team. Okay, that's the other reason why. Because if you did randomly decide to bring hazards, and this was my way to get rid of them. I wanted to make sure that I kept my side of the field hazards free, so as to ensure that I could live more things with my mons, because my mons don't appreciate switching to Rocks too much. I ran this very peculiar spread on this thing, and I will explain it here in just a second. Running max HP, running 132 defense, running 76 special attack, 44 SPDF, and 4 speed with a calm nature. Why are you running such a peculiar spread? Well, let's talk it over for a second. One, we absolutely demolish Salamence with this set. +1 Z-Fly does not kill us, if I recall, after rocks, by the way. +1 Z-Fly after rocks does not kill us, so that's really nice to know. Also, we chew any 1 hit from any 2 hits from Mega Alakazam as well. We can haze if it's a Calm Mind set. We can still live a Calm Mind Side Shock after rocks. We can switch into what is it? We chew anything from Hitmontop and blow it away with 2 Moonblasts. We blow away Golurk with Surf, and we can live a good chunk of hits from that thing. Kartana cannot kill us unless it uses Leaf Blade against us. And Alolan Ninetales, this is what this particular spread is for. Alolan Ninetales cannot 2-hit kill me with Freeze Dry, and I think it's a roll for us to 2-hit kill it with Moonblast with a special attack investment. And like I said, Defog is also for Aurora Veil. That's the main reason why I have Defog here, not for rocks, but for Aurora Veil, because Defog does get rid of screens now in Generation 7 or starting Generation 6. Defog has that ability, and that was really, really nice for me to be able to have this. You may or may not see in the match if this plays out, but and the speed investment is just in case he was creeping it with something. In case he was creeping it with something like Hitmontop, which wouldn't make sense, but or if he was creeping it like, I don't know, Muck maybe. I could see that happening actually. If he expected me to be 0 speed and just ran full offensive Muck and just try to catch me off guard and blow me away with a poison jab, I don't know, that would make sense. But he couldn't kill me. But either way, it's not like I could do much back to him if he's a Salt Fest. But anyway, Tapu Fini here to capitalize on things like to shut down Salamence, to shut down any set of mons really, to stop Mega Alakazam from sweeping because I can haze away Calm Minds, to stop Alolan Ninetales if it's going for Nasty Plot, and to defog away that's the biggest thing, is I wanted to defog away the screens. But yeah, that's what this spread does. And Armor Christian Soldier start our next set, which is a very, very fun one. I looked at this team and I was like, I know I have a switch into Kartana, but I don't have an offensive check to Kartana, nor do I have. I'm sitting here staring at my team and I'm like, I really don't have a win condition right now. Like, I've got Mega Ampharos that's really fat, it can switch out, so I've got a good solid defensive core here. Looking at Umbreon, Mega Ampharos, and Tapu Fini, that's a really solid defensive core. And I've got a really good physical wall breaker here with Mamoswine. But as I'm looking at this, I look at his team and I'm like, his team overall just does not appreciate physical threats. Like, Alolan Ninetales drops, Hitmontop drops to something like Psyshock. Kartana is the only one that can really take a physical hit, and it drops to anything special whatsoever. Lycanroc doesn't appreciate much of anything. Alolan Muck doesn't like physical hits. Salamence doesn't like Ice Shard, so it really doesn't matter on that one. But so I'm staring at my team like, the biggest thing I need is priority to hit Mega Alakazam, because I really don't have any solid mons that can check it. Like, my best check is Tapu Fini. But I'm staring at my team going, okay, like I said, I was bringing an Aerodactyl set that could potentially deal something to Mega Alakazam, but like, it was really situational and really depended upon whether he even brought it. And if he didn't bring it, and if he didn't bring Alolan Ninetales, then this Aerodactyl set became kind of a liability, and I really didn't want it to be that. However, this Pokemon in particular can really put in work against whatever he brings, and that I decided to bring was Lucario. Now, I know what you're thinking is like, what can this thing do? He's got a stinking Golurk, he's got Silvally can be anything, he's got Rotom Wash that kind of shuts it down. Like, that may be true, but let's take a look at this for a second. If I stick a Life Orb on it, I give it Swords Dance, and I run. Here's the catch right here. If I end up losing Tapu Fini at any point, I'm running Brick Break on this thing. And the reason I am is because it still kills everything that I needed to kill that I could kill with Close Combat. And the better news is that I don't have to lose the stats because of it. So running Brick Break, I'm running Extreme Speed. And the reason I'm running Extreme Speed is because a +2 Extreme Speed after any hazard damage or any chip damage whatsoever on Mega Alakazam does kill it, straight up. Also a +2 extreme speed can actually pick off a weakened Salamence too, with very minimal chip on it. The biggest thing is that I needed, like I said, I needed an offensive Revenger to Kartana, and so we stuck Vacuum Wave on this thing. Mixed Lucario week 1, ladies and gentlemen. With this particular strat, we're running max physical attack, we're running 196 in speed with a Jolly Nature. Not Jolly Nature. Am I going Jolly? No, I'm going Naive. Pretty sure I'm going Naive. Yeah, I'm running a Naive Nature. Okay, not Naughty. We're going Naive Nature with the rest in special attack, because this ensures that if he's got... I calced him so that he was creeping my Blacephalon, or if he even was just creeping my Lucario. I prepped it so that if he invested that much in Spadef, I still killed him with Vacuum Wave. That's what I needed, and also I allowed it so that Vacuum Wave could one-shot, freaking Lycan Rock Midnight in case he decided to bring some random Rock Polish set. I mean, that's not a very good set against me because Tapu Fini walls it and shuts it down, and Umbreon doesn't give a crap. So we got. Let me go give this thing a nickname, Kirito. I would make it shiny, but not a fan, honestly. And yeah, so this sort of the Lucario set, it does really well. What it does well. If I expect a Silvally set, it's probably going to be Silvally Steel, because he needs to be able to switch into Toxic Spikes, he needs to be able to switch into Rocks, he needs to be able to switch into Spikes, really, and to fog them away, and get the parting shot out. And really, Steel types in general are just kind of good against my team overall. So I'm not too much of a fan of having to deal with those. So Lucario is really good here to help break that down. Brick Break actually does straight up one-shot a physically defensive Silvally at +2. Also, like I said, +2 extreme speed knocks out Salamence after it takes some damage. Let's think, what else have I got to deal with here? Like I said, the only thing is that we can't really use this until Golurk is gone, and Golurk is a bit of an issue to my team overall. I've seen in mocks people bringing a no-guard Dynamic Punch set, which really became annoying, but if I can switch into Tapu Fini on it, that's fine, because I get to rain up before he goes for Dynamic Punch. I don't get confused. Always nice. Plus I can just blow it away with Surf the next turn. Lucario really puts in work here. Like I said, Vacuum Wave straight up one-shots Kartana. +2 Brick Break, 2-8 kills Muck. Extreme Speed, one-shot Alakazam after the slightest bit of chip. Or that's a guarantee anyway. +2 Brick Break kills little Ninetales. +2 Brick Break kills Hitmontop. +2 Brick Break kills everything else on his team just about, except physically defensive Rotom Wash, and even actually, yeah, that's the only thing it can't kill, and I've got other ways to deal with that. And like I said, I'll go back through my team on the mons that I changed, and I'll explain things in a second. So my last Pokemon, I was like, alright, I know it's not conventional to bring 2 setup sweepers, but looking at Lucario, he's more of a breaker than he is a win condition. He could become a win condition if the nature calls for it, or if the match calls for it. But I see it more as a breaker, breaking down Kartana, breaking down Salamence, breaking down Mega Alakazam, and potentially breaking down other threats like weakening Rotom Wash really far, killing off a little Ninetales, weakening a little Muck, just in general, those particular mons could become problems, and Lucario can kind of break them down a little bit. So my last mon, I stared at my team for the longest time. I had, like I said, I had that Aerodactyl set for a little bit. I had, I almost considered Scolipede, but like I had Blacephalon on here first. I had a Scarf Blacephalon on here first to kind of shut down Mega Alakazam. But I actually didn't kill. It was a roll to kill the Shadow Ball, and if I lost that roll and ended up losing my Blacephalon early game, it was a problem. So I really needed to have a more solid way to deal with things like, and then Scarf Kartana just completely blew it away with knockoff. So, yeah, that's the thing. So really I was like, I need a Pokemon that I can literally just look at this and say, it can sweep this entire team if I get the right moment to set up. So, and that Pokemon, hilariously enough, you guys are going to laugh at this, but you'd be surprised, is Zangoose. Because of a move that it gets in Ultra Sun and Moon, and that is Belly Drum. I'm bringing a sub Salicberry Belly Drum set with Return, not Retaliate. Retaliate would have been great, but Return and Night Slash. Because I thought about close combat, but then that means I'm walled by Golurk. Night Slash at +6 blows away Golurk, even through Colbur Berry. The end. And let's take a look at why. Because my spread, ladies and germs, is 28 HP, max attack, and the rest in speed. We're going with, once again, a Jolly Nature to creep Rotom Wash, because I don't want the thing tricking me I don't want that thing being able to outspeed me and tricking me like a Flame Orb or something goofy like that, or Will-O-Wisping me. Like, if I can set up on a Will-O-Wisp or on a Pain Split from Rotom Wash, that could become really valuable, because I can click Belly Drum the next turn, get the Salad Berry boost, and literally outspeed his entire team. The only issues is with this one, which I call Ricky Ticky Tavi. Please tell me someone gets this. I actually do make this one shiny, because I like shiny Zangoose. But yeah, so Zangoose, what does it do? First off, there are only 2 Pokemon in this entire thing that do not drop to a +6 return or +6 Night Slash. Kartana and Silvally Steel. That's it. Everything else is blown away by return or Night Slash. Rotom Wash drops to a +3 return. Silence drops to a +2 return. Lycanroc Knight drops to a +4 Night Slash. Golurk drops to a Colbur Golurk drops to a +6 Night Slash. Alola Ninetales just drops straight up to like a +1 return, so that one's Megalakazam drops to a +0 Night Slash. Like, it's so weak. But Zangoose here. Let's take a look at the speed investment. Speed investment allows me to creep Megalakazam, or max speed Megalakazam when I'm at +1 from the Salad Berry boost, which also means I can creep. Like I said, actually, it also, like I said, not only am I creeping Rotom Wash at when I'm at normal speed, I also creep, like I said, Megalakazam when I'm at +1, and that's literally all I need, because the Pokemon that I have to get rid of, I have very solid ways to get rid of. I need to get rid of Kartana, I need to get rid of Silvally, and I need to get rid of Hitmontop, because Hitmontop is a very big problem for this thing sweeping. Mach Punch just blows it away. There's nothing I can do about it, especially if you're running Technician. Forget about Intimidate. Technician, Mach Punch just blows this thing back. So, yeah. But, like I said, if we ever get the opportunity to set up a sub on, like, a passive Rotom, like if he's going for Will-O-Wisp or if he's going for Pain Split, we can sub up on that and click Belly Drum and just win the game at that point, because there's not much anything can do. It would have to have priority, and either that or it would have to be able to outspeed me and break my sub if I'm at +1 speed. And this HP investment, like I said, is an even number, so it allows us to sub up, click Belly Drum, be at the exact amount of health to pop the Salad Berry, or the max amount of health to pop the Salad Berry, and we'll just run through the team from there, because that's the point of this. Now, looking at this team, I know this team prep is going on a good while, but I wanted to make sure that I went in depth for this, because I spent a lot of time on this team. I kept all the spreads because the spreads were valuable for me. But what I did on Mamoswine is, in mocks, I had a really tough time dealing with Rotom Wash, because really, anytime I switched in Ampharos was a great switch in, but it wasn't a great way to deal with it, because every time I got in Ampharos, it just Volt Switched on me, and when it's something I could deal with it. Anytime I got in Umbreon, it Volt Switched. Anytime I got in Mamoswine, it would go for Hydro Pump. I'd have to go into Ampharos, which meant it could Volt Switch the next turn. It was really a problem. Rotom Wash was a huge problem for me. So, instead, I decided to forego Icicle Crash. And I know what you're thinking. Why? I'm like, because my only reason for bringing Icicle Crash at all is to deal with Mamoswine. And if a -1 Ice Shard can still blow it away, there's no need for Icicle Crash. 2 Ice Shards kill, and I live any hit from this thing if he sets up. And he can't outspeed me because I've got priority. So, instead, we decided to run Toxic on Mamoswine. Because if there's one Pokemon that guaranteed switches into Mamoswine every single time, it's Rotom Wash. Because the best thing I could do to hit it would be either bring Natural Gift Grass or bring Knockoff. Natural Gift Grass is way too situational. You have way too many switch-ins to that. Like a Alola Muck or Salamence, which I know you don't switch in on a Mamoswine, but like, just looking at Kartana is also another mon you could easily switch in. And so, like, but that would be if he was doubling predicting like a toxic or predicting the natural gift grass or whatever have you. Or it could be some goofy Silvally set that just stops the natural gift Mammoth Swine. Like there's so many reasons that I can't bring natural gift grass. It's just ridiculous. So I decided I was gonna bring toxic because toxic really punishes the Rotom for switching in on me. And if I can get rocks up too, that really starts to hinder Rotom's usability. And overall, Mammoth Swine just becomes really valuable in the sense that it can really toxic whatever comes in on it. If its name isn't Rotom Wash, like, and the good thing about it is even if terrain is up, Rotom Wash still gets toxic because of Levitate, which is really nice. And this brings me to my Umbreon set. I was sitting there thinking, okay, while I know Alola Ninetales is really good switch into Umbreon, it's not really good against my team overall. I've got a lot of ways to handle it. I've got Scolipede and Aerodactyl both that not only can be EV'd correctly to live anything from this, but also have super effective stab that can blow it away. I say stab on Scolipede, Poison Jabs blows Alola Ninetales away. A regular Aerodactyl gets Iron Head, blows that thing away. Bronzong is guaranteed switching and just clicks Gyro Ball and blows it away. Mammoth Swine blows it away. Blacephalon, if it's not running Dark Volts, it blows it away. Like, there's so many reasons that he should not bring Alola Ninetales. But I'm still expecting it only because Veil is so valuable against my team. Like, Veil just makes my team really hard for it to break. It makes it really hard for my team to break through. Which is why I brought both Defog on top of Feeny and Brick Break on Lucario. But looking at Umbreon, because I'm not expecting him to bring Alola Ninetales, or because I don't want to over prep for it, but instead I wanted to make sure that I was prepped up for Mega Alakazam, I decided to not make this thing quite a liability if he decides to go for like a Focus Blast, because a modest Focus Blast could blow me away. So I decided to bring Sucker Punch instead, because if I get confused from a Dynamic Punch, if I get paralyzed for some reason from something like maybe even a Thunder Wave, Rotom, or if he just happens to set up with Mega Alakazam, I can get a last ditch effort Sucker Punch off, and it does a clean 55 to 65% to Mega Alakazam. So, like, and most people don't run Sucker Punch on Umbreon, but that's why it's coming, because it does that much damage to Mega Alakazam, and because it can just give me some nice chip on other things that can ensure kills from other things like Lucario, Zangoose, even Ampharos here, and obviously Mammoth Swine. But yeah, so that is the team. Essentially, the goal is to get rocks up as early as possible. Make sure that I can preserve Ampharos until Kartana's either dead or able to be dealt with in the following turn after I drop. Keep Wish Support alive for Mammoth Swine and Tapu Fini. Get Lucario in to break down the team and win with Zangoose. So anyway, that is the team. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if that is all that's been for me, this has been Phantombass. I don't know what happened to my camera, but I will catch you guys in the match. Bye, guys.